Hey everyone, welcome to our final videos in the Connecticut Driver's License series. This is video 7 and also our fourth of installing JavaScript. So, where we last left off, this was our input, and we want the users to input a name and an age, and we select Learn More, and we have three different components of one text element in this HTML here. So the JavaScript is placing this here, and the spacing between the statements is that /n twice. We have three variables here combining to make this happen. This is the results greeting, and the string is concatenated with the dynamic variable name. Then this middle statement will change. So notice now you'll need to follow the teen driver's license requirements. That changes based on the conditional age. And then the last statement is going to be there all along. And we are only showing one of the buttons and hiding the others. So let's head on over to our code. And as you recall, we were working within the function. Now everything we're doing here is still in that update decision function. And once that update decision function is triggered, so let's refresh our memory here just for a minute. The update decision function is triggered once the users select Learn More after they input their name and age. So that is the Learn More button down here. So that is the on event from line 8 to 11. And all of this magic is happening from this one call to this function or recipe update decision. The minute that is triggered and the program hits line 9, it will go down and seek out the definition or declaration of that function. And here we are. It's on from line 28 down to 38 right now. In here we have variable assignments based on the input. We have the results greeting and more info that I mentioned earlier, and now we have the if age is less than 16, here's what happens. Well, what if it's not? So there is a plus indicator right here, and this is specific to blocks. So if you imagine without blocks, if age is not less than 16, then we're going to do something else. The word else is there. So let's click on that plus button, and I want to click on it twice. So notice when I click on it twice, an else if comes up. This we want to add a conditional statement as well. So let's head on over to math, and you got to think a little bit ahead here. We have two different competing conditional statements here. So a compound conditional statement is these two ampersands here, the and Boolean operator. Let's drag that in. And basically now this allows us to say, if one Boolean is true and the other is true, I want the code inside of this block to be read. So if one is true and the other is false, it's not going to happen. So let's see. We want age is going to be greater than or equal to 16. So let's go up and find greater than or equal to right here. Drag that into the first opening. And age has to be greater than or equal to 16. Remember, if it was less than 16, we would be reading the code from line 34 to 37. We also need age to be less than 18. So let's grab that less than operator again and bring that over here. And now age is less than 18. Okay. And we're going to stop here. Now, if you could think this through, well, I'm either under 16 or I'm a teenage, 16 or 17, then I'm going to read this block. Do we need to actually put another Boolean saying, well, if age is greater than 18? And the answer is, as you would probably imagine, is no, because if we get a false statement on line 33, we're ignoring the block of code from 34 to 37. If we get a false statement on line 38, we're ignoring the code inside of that block. that means there's only one other option left. So if this, else if this, else, read this one. And don't even compare it to a Boolean. So that's what we have going on here. So a lot of similarities here. What we want to do is go to show text, and I want to copy everything from results output all the way down here. Let's hit Control C and place that inside of the else if. Now, little trick here that I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cursor to the opening of that curly bracket, just to the right of it, and I'm going to hit enter and then paste. I'm also going to hit the delete key to move that else statement up. I'm going to come down to the else curly bracket too, and remember, the curly brackets indicate, hey, this is the block of code we want to deal with. So I'm going to do the same thing, hit enter, hit paste, and then hit the delete button to bring that up. Okay, so now, as you can imagine, we've got some work to do here. The biggest piece is the results output. So let's make sure you're staying inside of the age is greater than or equal to 16, less than 18. And we're going to delete the you have to wait until age 16. That's the one above. So results output now doesn't need to change the variable. The assignment's going to happen right here. And we're going to put, you will need to follow the teen driver's license requirements. And then we're going to put a period at the end of that. And then the semicolon afterwards. So, same variable, only now, if we're inside of this block of code, we're assigning a different string to it. And that's okay, because if we get a false statement on line 33, then line 34 never happens. There's nothing being assigned to results output. So now we could just assign something else to it. You will need to follow the teen driver's license requirement. So as you can imagine, let's go down to results output under the else, and we're going to back away everything there. Probably shouldn't have backed all that away. I could have used some of that. You need to follow. Okay, you'll need to follow the adult learner's license requirement. So that is on line 44, and that is under the else statement. Okay, so under all circumstances now, we have assigned some value to results output. On line 34, results output gets you will need to wait until age 16. That's if they're under age 16. Same variable on line 39, it will get you will need to follow the teen driver's license. That's if age is greater than or equal to 16 and less than 18, so that's 16 and 17 only. And then finally, if the user is not under age 15 and older than 18, we just have the else statement here. You will need to follow the adult learner's license. Okay, so it looks like we are all set with results output. Let's think this through now, the set text. Let's go down to line 40, and we still are going to have the output as our ID on set text. Then results greeting doesn't change. The two forward slash ends do not change. Results output gets a new assignment, and then more info comes up. So we're using the same information here, so the cut and paste helped. All right, so now let's go back to show blocks. And as you can imagine, what's next? We just have to make sure that we are hiding the appropriate buttons at this point. I think we're ready to go. So let's address we'll just remind ourselves again that if we're under age 16, we are hiding the adult learner and the teen link. So now, if we're age 16, we want the teen link to show. So adult learner link we're going to hide, and we're going to hide the underage link here. So underage link and adult learner link we're going to hide, so the teen link will show up. Finally, we want to hide the teen link here and the underage link because we want the adult learner link to show up here. So let's just take a look at this. In one function from line 28 all the way down to 49, the variable assignments to name, age, results greeting, more info happen, plus the decision of where the age is. Is it under 16, 16 or 17, or over 18? All of that happens in a millisecond when the user selects Learn More after entering a name and age. And that's based on the On Event for the Results button. And this one line of code here, line 9, update decision, that says please run this block. And it goes down to line 28 and follows all those steps. So I believe we are done, but now we have to test this. So let's go to share. We want to copy link to project and then head over to an open URL. Paste that in. And let's give the browser some time to work here, and here we go. So now here's our application under share. We could go to view code. We could send it to a phone, but right now we just want to test this out. So let's use Nora, age 15, and learn more. Hello, Nora. You will need to wait until age 16 to begin your driver experience. Click on the link before, and we could click on this link. I'm going to see where it takes us. This opens up a new link, and as we want, how to get a driver's license that works exactly as planned. So far so good on under age 16. Now I want you to test on your own the other two options and make sure that they work. Okay, congratulations. If that worked, you are all set. You've programmed your first application, an application that simply makes a very basic decision. But as you can imagine, the UI was very simple, 2 pages. There was, let's see, a title. There was an image brought in. We styled it a little bit with border. We have name and age inputs. We brought in a little icon here, and then we have the Learn More button. We also use background color. So all of this was HTML and CSS combined. I'm going to head back to the actual code editor, Code Studio. And that was design mode. Again, we also designed a second screen. And the second screen had some similarities. The colors... color palette stayed the same. We moved the car up a little bit. We have the output, and we have a advanced link button to take us to more information. So once that was done, you created 4 on events, which simply said wait until the user selects this in order to carry out an action. Now 3 of them simply sent you to another website. The very first one, though, the call to action, sent you to a new screen, go to the results screen, and run the update decision function. And that update decision function had variable assignments, strings, numbers, concatenation. It had breaks in strings with the /n. It had an if statement, an else if, and an else, all with two booleans of are we under age 16? If that is true, read lines 34 to 37. If it's false, skip those lines and go to the next. If you're between 16 and 17, then read lines 39 to 42. If false, skip that as well, and finally read the final block, 44 to 48. So that's conditional if statements with Boolean statements. So this was a very simple app, but with a lot going on here. So again, congratulations. If you do have some errors, you want to do some troubleshooting and make sure that this actually works out. So most common things for troubleshooting is simply syntax, meaning something was typed incorrectly or quotes were not put in the right spot. So that's why using block at the very beginning helps us minimize that risk of syntax and allows us just to focus on the logic. Congratulations again, everybody. Good luck on creating your decision application going forward. We'll see you in a future one.